navigation, travel, and any transport would be impossible without the North. If there wasn't a sense of direction, the ships, vessels, airplanes, any kind of transport depend on a north, on a fixed point through which they are directed. The north is the fixed point, the point that does not change, the point you can position yourself and decide where you want to go. I'll give you a north. When life is successful, it is because it is following a north. Obviously, God is our greatest north. But He leaves us other tips to position ourselves, to direct ourselves, and to learn our destination. The north I will give you is the concept, the understanding, the consciousness of duty and generosity. Pay attention, duty and generosity. When we talk about duty, the word means it is what we owe ourselves or someone, or God. We all have duties. We all have duties. Even children have duties. The child owes obedience to their parents. So parents should teach children about their duties and not allow them to live anyhow, just based on their desires. So everyone, every citizen, every person has duties. They owe something to someone or to themselves. So in life, we have to be aware of our duties. What is a duty? Is what I am owing. It is a debt. And if I don't pay, if I don't clear it, I am owing. I will wrong someone who expected something from me. For example, let's look at marriage. In a marriage, husbands and wives have duties. Yes, we have duties. What do I owe my wife? I owe fidelity. When I got married to her, I was saying no to every other woman in the world and saying yes to her. So I owe her fidelity. When there's fidelity in a marriage, it is not a favor. It is not a favor that you give your partner. It is a duty. When you are faithful, you are paying your debt. If you cleared your debt, there's no outstanding balance. You basically owe nothing. To be faithful is a duty. To listen, to hear your wife or husband, it is a duty. For you to help your wife, your husband, it is a duty because you share a house, a life, so you own something to each other. Respect is something else that you own. Respect on talking, on decisions, not making decisions without including, consulting the other. Because if you don't consult your partner, it's as if you're saying, I don't need you. Your opinion doesn't count. I will do it regardless if you like it or not, or if you think is right or wrong. So many couples have an outstanding balance in their relationship. Why? Because they don't fulfill their duties. They don't fulfill their duties. They don't do their part. Many women are frustrated with their husbands because they don't leave the sofa. They keep on playing video games. They keep on saying, no, I'm looking for a job. The wife, the woman is sustaining the house, paying for everything. And he says, I sent an email, I made a call, I'm waiting for their response. And she's revolted, angry at her husband because he does not display any sense of responsibility, duty to share the burden, to sustain the family. So he leans on the fact that the wife is working and sustaining the house. So he's not fulfilling his duty, at least to show some effort to come out of that situation. So when we fulfill our duties, when we fulfill our responsibilities, we are doing what? Nothing more than our obligation. We are obligated. In other words, we have moral obligations to do that. Did you make your bed? Did you wake up and make your bed? This is the least of decency and that you own yourself. You brushed your teeth, you took a shower, is the least you own yourself. So everything in life, there are duties. You go to work, your boss is paying for you to do certain things. You do what the boss paid you to do it. It is your duty. They are paying you. So when we do only what we are asked to do, what is only our responsibility, we are clearing our outstanding balance. But don't forget, it is still none, still zero. There's no credit. And then is when it comes the second concept, the concept of generosity. The first concept is duty, what I own. The second is generosity, which is to go beyond what I owe, beyond my obligation. It is then when things get interesting. Because if you want a quality marriage, quality life, you want a quality business, all that you want of high standards, you need to add generosity to that. In other words, the give, the go beyond and do more than your obligation. For example, God has created in His Word, within this concept of duty and generosity, God created two things called tithe and offering. What is the tithe? Duty. Tithe, also called first fruits in the Bible, is what we owe God. The tithe is not ours. We don't give tithe. We return the tithe. Because the tithe belongs to God, is holy, sacred. He claimed the tithe to himself, even though he's the owner of 100% of what there is. He only wants the recognition of his lordship when we return the first fruits of all we received. That is called tithe. So when we return the tithe, what are we doing? We are fulfilling our duty. When we don't do that, when we keep the tithe, what are we doing? We have an outstanding balance. God calls it robbery. Will man rob God? Yes, you rob me when you keep, when you retain the tithes and the offerings. So the tithe is a debt. We own that to God. But God not only created the tithe, which is the duty, when we return the tithe, we clear our outstanding balance per se. He also created the offerings that goes towards the concept of generosity. Tithe is the duty, the obligation. Offering is not an obligation. Offering must come from the heart of the offering giver. It comes from the generosity of the offering giver. I want to give. I want to offer that. I want to do that. Out of my goodwill, I want to do that. King David, when he thought about building the temple for God, he made a decision. He said, all my personal treasure, all I've gathered of riches and wealth as a king, I will leave for the temple's construction. I decide to do that. God did not demand, God did not ask, nobody asked for that. He decided, I will leave my personal treasure for the construction, to sponsor the construction of the temple. He went to the people and said, that's what I would do. Now, if anyone voluntarily is moved to give offerings of gold, silver, or bronze to build the temple, feel free to do that. The people following King David's example generously contributed to the construction of the temple. Offerings, it is a fruit of generosity. It's what the husband does beyond his obligation. To give respect to his wife is a duty. To make a compliment, it is generosity. Am I right? The person to bring bread to the table of the family, the breadwinner to bring bread to the house, it is an obligation. But giving a hug, to recognize the other person's qualities, smile. At times the person arrived tired, had a terrible day, and the person go to the kitchen, make some tea, a juice, something that pleases the other, and say, I did to please you. This is generosity. It is not a duty. There was no need to do. They were not obligated to do it because they had pleasure. There was a pleasure on doing. Many times, Christiane knows I will do something. I need clothes that I like. Knowing that I will wear it or I would like to wear it, I could even wear something else. But I wanted to wear that. On the night before, she prepares those clothes for me. That is generosity, an act of generosity that she does for me. The marriage only becomes good, really good, when the couple fulfills their duty but also are generous towards each other. The business is only really prosperous, successful, when beyond fulfilling their duties, they are also generous towards their collaborators and clients. And this is for all areas of life. If you want a good relationship with God, you must do and go further for Him, not only doing what you own, but to go beyond for God. Try to apply this north to your life, to keep this balance between duty and generosity. Fulfill your duty and practice your generosity. Do your duty and practice your generosity, and you will see what life God will return to you in response. If today's video helped you and you know someone that could benefit from it, share it with them, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you may do so now. See you later.